Hi. Well, of course it hasn't been that long since I made the last video, but I just kind of wanted to follow up and clarify some things. I want to make sure that you all understand that I'm not saying that you have to give up on demanding that the government recognize and protect your rights. I'm just saying that they're likely not going to do it. I do want you to stand up for your rights, though. I think that it's important that we don't give even an inch on these things. You know, one of the things I constantly hear is they're always talking about, well, let's just compromise a little bit. You come this far and I'll come that far. When it comes to the Bill of Rights, you can't give an inch on those any longer. As a matter of fact, we've got to take back what we've lost already. But I don't think you can do it by standing up against the US government, because the US government is not what it appears to be. You know, we are in so many wars of aggression right now, and it's not about what's right and wrong. It's not about liberty and democracy. I made a point in a video a long time ago in resolution of a former idealist. I said, you know, you can't give what you don't have. I mean, we have the NDAA here, indefinite detention of citizens, anybody, without due process. We've done away with the Fourth Amendment, with the Patriot Act. You know, you go to the airport or even on the roads anymore, and you've got these federal agents, DHS and otherwise, who are searching based upon some, terrorist somewhere. The fact of the matter is, we've already lost what we were supposedly fighting this war for, or any war. So, war's always the excuse for government to take more power. So I'm not saying that you need to not stand up for your rights. I'm just saying that the U.S. government is not somebody that an organization that you're going to be able to fix. It's not going to be like that. We have to come at it from an entirely different viewpoint. So in other words, what do? Yes, we still stand up for what's right. You can't ever stop doing that. I'm just not sure that we just shouldn't step out of the way a little bit. Like I said, let the wicked destroy the wicked, because that is really what's going to happen here. There is going to be a civil war. Even Beck said that. Anybody with any intelligence at all can see where this thing is leading. But that doesn't mean that you have to lay down and die. Civil disobedience, non-compliance, of course, your right to self-defense, no matter what they tell you otherwise. Gather with like-minded people who understand the same things that you do. One of the crazy things in history, and I'm just going to say this, it's going to sound sexist, but I hope you'll hear me out. In ancient times, when you wanted to defeat an enemy, one of the things that you did was that you went in and deliberately killed the women, because they're the baby factories. They're what carries that people forward to the next generation. And with women's lib and all these things, Gloria Steinman, did you know that she was a CIA operative? She was actually put in her position and funded so that she could destroy the difference between men and women, the good things about that. Well, however you feel about it, I dealt with a lady here not too long ago that, thought that Gloria Steinem was so great. Well, okay, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go with this, all right? Population is not the problem that they pretend it is. But even if that was the situation, we have a right, we have a duty, we have an obligation to defend the feminine side of our species. We shouldn't be trying to make it masculine. We shouldn't, and even women that think that they should have their rights. Okay, maybe you as an individual, but look what's happened here right now. Women were brought now into the combat arms branches of the Army. I don't think they should be there in any regard anyway. But, it went to that, under the volunteer force. Now, of course, under the way the laws of the United States are, your daughters are going to be drafted and put on the front lines in combat. And people, it's not like it is in the movies. It's not like that. You're putting your sons in danger. And now you're going to let them brutalize your daughters? You know, and especially when, you know, they're being told that they're doing it for liberty and justice and all that. And again, all of that's been removed from us. We don't have it anymore. We don't have it to give to the world because we don't even have it here. Don't allow your daughters, your wives, to be taken and put out into this world in places where they're going to be in danger. You know, if we're gonna dismantle everything that we're supposedly fighting to protect, and then send it out there to be destroyed or to be you know, hardened, maimed, then what's the point? You know, all throughout history, the women were protected. I mean, yeah, you had a few very, very few exceptions. The Amazons, and you know, that's not quite what they say it is either, but okay, let's say the Amazons. And during even the siege of Jerusalem, when the Romans were there, some women were up on the battlements throwing down rocks. Yeah. But that's the exception rather than the rule. We should be protecting that feminine side that is the baby factory, is the love, the softness of mankind. And if women aren't that way, they need to get back to that. I know you're going to call me sexist for it, but that's just the way it is. It's evil what we're doing to women. And it's evil how now we're going to put them in harm's way under force. You know, the first draft was during the Civil War in the North. And it was a compulsory service, you know, just against freedom. And now we're going to force our women to do this. We're such an evil, evil nation. All right. The system is so corrupt right now, you really can't fix it. And that's why I said what I did in the last video. Let's look at it kind of like an engine in a car. You know, when you burn up an engine, you know, you have one of two things to do. The body might be in great shape, but the engine, the thing that makes it run, is gone. You can overhaul it, or you can replace it. If we do either of those, when it comes to this government, let's ensure that the individual right to self-determination, the Bill of Rights, is carried forward. You know, the administrations of government can come and go. I really don't care about that. I don't care if we, frankly, you know, if we change the structure of our government. I really don't care about that. What I care about is that in the end, when everything is said and done, that Bill of Rights, all of the things that were talked about in the Declaration of Independence as to why we need to have individual liberty, and then that carried over into the Bill of Rights. As long as that's carried through, that is the important thing. All right. So I hope you all can see that this evil government's not going to change. That's not going to happen. There was a situation in the Bible where, you may remember the story, Jonas, the same one that was swallowed by the whale. You know, he went down and he prophesied against Nineveh for, you know, so long, and you know, they called him a crackpot, and I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what bad things they were doing. You know, it's kind of nebulous. You never really know. But let's just say it was a nation like ours today, and you've had people like, you know, Ron Paul and some of these really good people say, hey, you know, we need to change the direction we're going, and everybody laughs and, you know, doesn't pay any attention to them. We allow for abortions and infanticides and you know, corruption in high places and wars of aggression for gain and bankers stealing billions and trillions of dollars from us, whatever the case is. So whatever it was in Jonas's time, he said, hey, you know, you guys need to repent. And then what happened? You know, he was thinking that, you know, fire and brimstone was going to come down and destroy Nineveh. But guess what? Nineveh repented. The entire city repented. And God said, okay, fine. You know, I'm not going to destroy you now. And, you know, Jonas got mad. Well, I can tell you something, all right? as much as I would like this government to change, maybe and I'm not saying I'm Jonas, but like Jonas, maybe I just say, it's time to just forget it. I'm not saying that they don't have time to repent. I'm saying, look at what they're doing. You don't worry about that. You just go out and do what's right, regardless of what they do. And it could get us in a lot of trouble doing that. But by the same token, without example, there won't be change. So I've said a couple of things here today, and I know it's kind of a quick follow-up. But if we don't honor and protect the things that are worth cherishing, then we really don't have anything at all. And to put our most beautiful and precious things out in harm's way, that's... We don't need economic superiority that bad, whether on an individual or on a national level. So I've laid myself out there on this one. Maybe I'm the old chivalrous type, but what else is there really worth laying your life down for if it's not, our wives, our women, our children, and the principles of true liberty and justice, not just words. Actions speak louder than words. They always do. So this was a quick follow-up. I'm going to change my format here a little bit the next little while, mainly to make it interesting. You don't want to hear me just talk, I'm sure. I plan on maybe having some music. I used to have some of those background screens. I'm not going to do that. But I will change the format a little bit, make it a little bit more interesting, maybe bring some more actual up-to-date news and comment on that, because things are getting critical at this point, and we need to have as many people looking at these things that are happening as possible. So that's where we're going to go with that, if that's all right. As far as getting a hold of me, cell phones are pretty much out anymore for lots of reasons. And if you haven't kept up on what's going on, I love the technology, but that NSA facility in Bluffdale, Utah is about ready to go active. And I mean, they don't need that to do what they're doing now already, but that's going to really, really make it bad for us. I mean, even using anything like YouTube or computers in general, or any kind of electronics and digital, information systems is a problem. Am I paranoid? No. I just don't like them messing with me, that's all. They already done that once on YouTube, and they've done it to all of you. Some of you just don't recognize it when you see it. But as far as cell phones are concerned, I'm probably not going to be using that for a while. But you can get me, here at YouTube, on YouTube. You can write me here, or you can write my email at rpotterii@live.com. That's all lowercase, RPOTTERII at live, LIVE.com. And some of you already have some of my other email addresses as well, and you can get a hold of me there. All right. Hey, thanks a lot, and I'll be seeing you again shortly, I'm sure. Thanks.